Hello and welcome to another episode of Put Me in Coach on episode 108, Diamondbacks versus Pirates Game 2. Lineup of today, Gabe Marino playing DH, Max Kempler playing left field, Tim Tao playing first base, James McCain as catcher, and then Ryan Wolfsman at center field, and the rest is the same. Later on in stuff, Jorge Barosa came in to hit later on and stuff, Vargas as well, and then Tyler Locklear and stuff. And then in the bottom of the ninth, Vargas came in to play first base. And then Jorge Barosa came in to play center field. And then top of the 10th, Tyler Locklear actually pitched run for Nolan Arenado later on in like the 10th or something like that and stuff. And then bottom of the 10th, Tyler Locklear played first base and Vargas went to third base instead. So Vargas went to first to third like very quickly in different innings and stuff. And he didn't start, so that's kind of crazy to think about that and stuff. Pretty much everybody got base hit besides the Tim Tawa. How interesting. This was very interesting game. It was very long and stuff. It was kind of crazy at the end. Kara went 2 for 5 and stuff. Nolan Arenado went 3 for 5. And then Ryan Wolfsman went 2 for 6. James McCain went 4 for 6. And this is his first time ever in his career he has 4 hits in a game and stuff. So good for him, That's not, an easy task to get and stuff, because getting on 4 hits in one game, that's pretty good and stuff. More impressive to be like 5 or 6 more and stuff, but 4, nobody on the team has 4. Carroll has 2, Wolfsman has 2 and stuff. Nolan Arenado has 3. Like, that's better, but McCain got 4. That's something. And then the rest pretty much got 1 base hit here and there and stuff, and then Tim Tao was just cold. So I was expecting of him to get on base because I want everybody to get on base, and it just makes it make the game more fun for everybody's doing a good job on the team and stuff. So he's the one got left out and stuff, and I don't blame him. It's hard to be consistent and stuff, but the rest of the other team were hitting pretty good and stuff. Marte, he went 1 for 6. When I talk about Marte swing and stuff, it's just like here and there and stuff, but it's what it is, man. Vargas got on base 1 to 2 and stuff, so that's pretty good. I thought Jorge Barosa went on 1 and 2, but they gave him all zeros. It's kind of weird. Pitching wise, of enough. Starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks was Brandon Pfaadt. He went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 1, and gave up no runs. So, fortunately enough for Brandon Pfaadt to keep going to the 7th inning and gave him no runs. That's pretty good. And so, especially enough of that Pirates offense, it's absolutely insane. And he was locked in. He was totally locked in this game. And so good for him going up there to the 7th and just not giving any runs and stuff. Fortunately enough, he did not get the win. That's the bummer about this, because he did so well and stuff, and then the bullpen kind of went down, It's just a bummer and stuff. And then the pitching for the Pirates starting pitcher, Bubba Chandler, he went 4 innings, gave us 7 hits, struck out 3, walked 1, and gave up 5 runs. So it's just interesting because I thought Bubba Chandler was a lot better pitcher overall and stuff, but somehow we were hitting off of him pretty good and stuff. He's still as a young pitcher and stuff. I don't think he's like in the same category with like Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens like the better pitcher overall on that team and stuff. But fortunately enough, he's up there, but he's really low in that starting roster and stuff. But still pretty good, but it's just not enough. And the Diamondbacks just offense was just on him very well and stuff. Bullpen, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this bullpen. We had a solid bullpen and they choke very much and stuff. Ryan Thompson giving up 3 runs. Okay, he only won 1 inning, gave up 4 hits. 4 hits, struck out once, walked once, and gave up 3 runs and stuff. Yeah, Ryan Thompson is not doing so well, so they need to work on him a lot and stuff. Same thing with Ginkle. I think he gave up 1 run and stuff. Like, that's not good. These two are like our World Series like playoffs, get to the World Series time pitchers and stuff, and they're just not doing so well and stuff. Like, they do pretty solid time, but it's just again, I think it is hard to be consistent, but who knows? It's just very hard and stuff, and I get it. The Pirates offense are a really good team as well. Like, it's just like you got to be so dominant not giving them that runs when we are trying to win games, and stuff. And then Brandon Garcia came in, did pretty good and stuff. Paul Sewald, he is the one basically got the game of the loss for Brandon Fott for the game, because if he did kept going and not give up runs, we would actually win the game overall and stuff. And then Juan Morello came in and stuff. And I already talked about Kevin Ginkle. He already gave up 1 run and stuff. And then Carrillo is the one got his first save in his career. So good for him as a rookie and stuff. And he pretty much got exploded till the time he got that save, Like, that strikeout was nasty. So good for him. Yeah, Diamondbacks won. This game was, I would give it to the Diamondbacks so easily, but the Pirates were very, very close to literally have a comeback again with a walk-off or whatever and stuff. It's just like, come on. Paul Sewald, man, he can't close the inning. He cannot get another save for himself. Oh, well. Now scoring, fortunately I'm not going to talk about any runs from the Diamondbacks and stuff, and I only have 3 things on my notes of scoring, and all of 3 of them are the Pirates, because these are the most like big ones and stuff. The Diamondbacks really didn't do so well. I'll give, I don't know, there were, I don't have it on my notes, but I would definitely say there were some single hits and stuff, and I just thinking that would just be boring to talk about and stuff. I know I do talk about singles and stuff, but I don't know. Then I realized enough of just like, I just delete every like boring Diamondbacks scoring on this and stuff. Oh well, it's just like they did score board. They were getting sack flies. They were getting, the Pirates were literally giving up runs because how poor their defense was in this game and stuff. Like, Brandon Lau was giving errors and stuff. There was so much error from the Pirates. They were giving easily of errors to the Diamondbacks were not like singles or doubles or whatever and stuff. So fielder choice was a lot of a thing and stuff, and ground out RBIs is just like that's boring to me and stuff. There were no like doubles, there was no home runs or anything and stuff. There were easy singles. Those are like the most ones in of it, but it's just again it was not the top of like the scoring what we really want to talk about and stuff. So that's why we don't see I'm not why I deleted the Diamondbacks scoring and stuff because it's boring and stuff. And they did here and there and stuff to get some scores and get scoring anytime you want and stuff. It's just they were just not peak scoring overall. That's just my opinion and stuff. And this is what I want to talk about. And I apologize of that in a way and stuff. I feel like I screwed myself up on that and stuff because I'm just talking about the opposite team scoring more better than the Dimebacks and stuff. So it's just a matter of fact. It's just I don't want to talk about like sack fly or fielder choice and stuff. Like it's just annoying. Like it's just like this is not what I want to talk about and stuff. So the ones we are going to talk about, the rest are going to be the Pirates. Ryan O'Hearn with a RBI double to make it 1-6 bottom of the eighth. You understand enough of it. He got a double. Diamondbacks didn't do that. So that's that. There's people who did get doubles, but they didn't get an RBI double. Just letting you know. Brandon Lau, my twin swing, he hit a 2-home run to make it 5-6 bottom of the ninth and stuff. And then Brian Reynolds literally with a solo home run to literally tie the game up 6-6 with a back-to-back home run bottom of the ninth on Sewell. This is where Sewell lost his save at this point because Lau and Reynolds went back-to-back to literally tie the game up. So and he didn't end the game as well. He got pulled out, and then that's why who came in? Garcia? No, Morello. Morello came in to pitch. So yeah, like these two are like also like my nightmares from the other team we talked about, the Nationals. Like CJ Abram and James McCain. I mean, not James McCain. James Wood. Like those guys were just off the chart. Like the whole game and stuff. They keep hitting home runs. They keep getting doubles. They keep getting RBIs, runs to help the team and stuff. Like good for them. Like you want to be superior of your own team and stuff. And these are like the guys. Like I love Brandon Lau before when he was on the Rays back then and stuff because he was a very solid power hitter, defense, second baseman and stuff. In this game, he sucked at second base. He was getting a lot of errors and stuff. I'm surprised, It's more crazy of enough of Trey Turner giving up like a lot of errors, but he actually hit a couple home runs and base hits to literally win the game and stuff. So it's so crazy game enough giving some errors when you're on defense, but you do good on offense. And that's what Brandon Lau does. Like he does good on offense, but weak on defense and stuff. It's like the opposite of Marte. And then, fortunately enough for Brian Reynolds, like these guys know how to hit, Same thing with like CJ Abrams and James Wood, these two on the team. Ryan O'Hearn is like a huge player to know to help this team. Like this team for the Pirates, like they're like no joke. Like they're still like a pretty solid team overall and stuff. They got a lot more better just to get Brandon Lau on the team and stuff. And again, I do like Brandon Lau. um, and stuff. But it's just hard enough to see a person to like, and then they're hitting home runs on your team and stuff, and it's kind of like annoying. Just like, well, I like you do that, but not on my team. Can you do that on another team, please? Like, I don't care if you do it on the other teams and stuff. Just don't do it on my team. Okay? Last time the Pirates won a World Series was in 1979. Okay? That's how bad the Pirates were and stuff. Like, the time enough the Pirates got in the playoffs last time, that was when, like, Andrew McCutchen was pretty good and stuff. And Andrew McCutchen did win back for playing the Pirates later on and stuff. And then I think he got bounced back around place and stuff. I think he was on the Rangers before and stuff. I think now he's on the Braves, I think. I could be wrong with that and stuff. Like, he's still playing. Like, it's more surprising. He's one of the old players up there with Selvey. So it's kind of crazy to enough it. But fortunately enough, that is not the, obviously right now it's 6-6. We did win the game, and we went extra innings and stuff. I think you went the 12 and stuff. The final score was 8-7. And the final record right now is 56-52. So, fortunately enough to literally split the game right now against the Pirates, it's huge, and so we really need that win because I would be more crazy enough to. Because fortunately enough for the Pirates to have a comeback and tie the game up, I was thinking like, there's no way enough of this team is gonna get another walk-off win back-to-back days and stuff. It's just like there's no way and stuff. Fortunately enough, the Diamondbacks didn't let that happen, so good thing. uh, so yeah, progress. I love offense today. It's just keep going and stuff. This is what we gotta do every single time. Just show our offense how we can hit and stuff, and we can do good and stuff. And there was a lot of hits in this game. A lot of hits, a lot of scoring and stuff. That just makes it more exciting overall and stuff. Pitching, they need to work on and stuff. Fought did so well today and stuff, and then having the loss ruin it from Seawald, and even Ryan Thomas didn't help either and stuff. Ginkle didn't help to close a couple innings and stuff. But good job on Corello getting his first save in his career, as a young player and stuff, because last time I think he pitched was like his debut and stuff. So getting his first save and stuff, who knows? Maybe this is going to be our closer in the future. Who knows? I'm not 100% sure on that, but there's possibility in maybe moving him around in the bullpen very well of taking and stuff, because he has nasty stuff. So they got to work on it. It's just like work on your pitching, locations, and stuff, speed of the ball, change it up all the time and stuff, make it more comfortable for you and make it uncomfortable for the batter so you can strike them out pretty easily and stuff. And we can have that consistent for the pitcher and stuff. So, pretty that and stuff. MVP, I picked 3 people this time and stuff. I give Brandon Pfaadt the MVP as well today and stuff. He did pretty solid enough. I know he didn't do a whole lot enough, but fortunately now giving no runs to the 7th inning is a pretty huge thing and stuff, and he was definitely locked in this game, so I give him I'm going to do the MVP today and stuff. And then Nolan Arenado and Jason McCain are the other people as well. Brandon Pfaadt has 3, Nolan Arenado has 9 and stuff, and James McCain has 4 MVPs on this podcast. So I'm not doing the list. I know I have to do that and stuff, and I don't want to do that. But I showed you once before and stuff when the whole list was huge and stuff. So, but that's pretty much of that and stuff. So yeah. that's pretty much of that. Fortunately enough, the next game, it's already happened at like noon and stuff, at 12 o'clock p.m. and stuff. Um, I did not notice that and stuff. I was probably eating food at that time and stuff. I didn't notice because I thought the game was gonna be a little bit later, around 6 and stuff. But fortunately enough, that didn't happen and stuff. So I'm a little late. I didn't see the game, but I'll watch it. Recap of it and stuff, and given my notes down and stuff, and go each player of what they do and look at my notes and all these typical things and stuff. And so yeah, so fortunately enough, I'm not going to tell you what they win or lost or anything. You probably know it now at the time and stuff, by just recording this right now and stuff. But fortunately enough, we'll talk about that in a next episode and stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.